So greetings and peace be with all watching this later online. And welcome to Unity of Tempe. I'm Reverend Mitzi. So today we are continuing our series Blessed, in which we're exploring and deepening into the promises of blessings from the Beatitudes from the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew. Now, first, a quick recap. The Beatitudes are a group of ideas encapsulating much of Jesus' teachings about our states of being. And the word beatitude it comes from a Latin root word that means blessedness and great joy. Now, each beatitude starts with the word blessed or blessed, and consists of the condition and the result, a promise of the good that is ours as we understand and live by these attitudes of being. Now, last week we explored the first beatitude. Who remembers what it was? Who was here last week? Oh, I better show it again then. All right. Blessed, let's say it together. Blessed are they that mourn for... Oh, you know what? That's not it. That's not it. That's the one for this week. The last one was, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Okay, and we discussed how spirit in this context is more accurately translated as pride, and that heaven comes from a Greek word that means expanding. Now, if you weren't here last week and you want to know more about this beatitude, where could you go to find out? Online. Where exactly could you go? To the YouTube channel. To what is the name of our YouTube channel? Unity of Tempe. We changed it, so now it's Unity of Tempe. What could you do if you got there and you liked what you saw? You could hit subscribe. What else could you do? You could hit the like button. And what else could you do? You could share it. And what else could you do? You could leave a comment so we know if you're liking it. So let's grow our YouTube channel with subscribers. And you can find out more about what we discussed. But now we're going on to the second beatitude, which, in a stunning coincidence of thought and spirit, was referenced in today's daily word, which we read earlier. I mean, you cannot get more synchronistic than that. The exact beatitude that we're talking about today, I did not plan this. It is really amazing to me. And sometimes things align, the stars align, the moons align, spirit aligns, and it reminds us that we are on a perfect trajectory, not only for our own lives, but also the lives of our beloved community. So here is the second beatitude. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Now, in unity terms, or in any terms, this is a challenging beatitude. Grief is complicated and messy, and it's inevitable that at some point in our lives we will experience grief because we will experience loss. Many of us might think of the passing of loved ones when we think of loss and grief. And many of us have had loved ones. If you have never had a loved one, a friend, a beloved animal companion, or anyone in your life ever pass away, raise your hand. See how it is universal. We've had loved ones in our life pass away, friends, animals, beloved ones. But loss and grief can take many forms, can't it? It can be the loss of a dream, the loss of health, the loss of a career, the loss of job, the loss of a marriage, many other things as well. Now, grief, it's not a very appealing topic in Unity. And many avoid addressing it, instead trying to spiritualize it away. Even beloved minister, Unity minister, Eric Butterworth made a statement that, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, I find it unhelpful, disconcerting, and potentially shaming. And I love Eric Butterworth, but this is what he said. He said, one who truly knows himself will not fall victim to sadness or grief, for he will always be the master of himself in every circumstance. Now, that's great. That's great words, but here's the thing. I'm sure that that statement wasn't meant to be shaming or spiritually superior, but it kind of comes across that way. And we may have heard similar statements from others, statements that can actually seem to belittle us for having human emotions. But the key in Eric Butterworth's statement is if we truly know ourselves. And as spiritual beings in this human form, it can be very challenging to 100% of the time, 100%, 365, every minute of the day to remember who we truly are, can't it? It can be challenging at times. And the problem with idealistic statements about grief is what they shut down our emotions and lead us to believe there's no place where we can express our true feelings. It's like being told that because we believe that life is eternal, we should not mourn. And such perspectives are not limited to new thought opportunities or communities. Whenever they arise, they are neither helpful, healing, or loving. You know, just this week, a friend of mine shared on social that she had gone to the doctor and she was talking to him, and she has had a lot of grief recently in her life. And the doctor said to her, well, grief should only last 6 months. And she felt beside herself. But I do believe that she received a lot of comfort from the comments that she received in response to that doctor's comment, who said that's a load of rubbish. And you need to find a new doctor because he has no understanding of grief whatsoever. So then, what about this beatitude? Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. You know, I wondered about giving it to you, MGM, because we know what you've been through, a big journey of grief. And yet we saw your vulnerability, and you did such a beautiful job of reading that daily word. And we felt the comfort that you have received, and still the pain that is there. And so, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. But to tell someone in the midst of grief that they're blessed because they're mourning, well, we just downright consider that to be spiritual malpractice. And even those of us who think of ourselves as pacifists would probably want to smack such a person if they said such a thing to us in the midst of our grief. So what to make of this beatitude? An ancient parable from India might help us understand the comfort it promises. A woman whose child had died went to the holy man in her village saying, I've heard that you can restore life. Please, will you restore the life of my son? The holy man said, I will, but for a price. I have money, the woman said. I will give you what you ask. Bring me a pomegranate seed from a household that has never experienced loss, the holy man replied. Many years later, the woman returned and held out her hand to the holy man. It was empty. She had traveled far and wide, going to palaces and tiny shacks, but had failed to find a home that had never been touched by loss. When she realized she could not fulfill the holy man's request, she wept and wept and wept. And when her tears began to run dry, she began to feel comfort in knowing that her suffering was not unique. She came to realize that while her son's physical body was gone, he would always be with her. And with her empty hand outstretched, she said to the holy man, "Thank you for restoring the life of my son to my heart." There's so much to love in this story, isn't there? The holy man did not shame the woman. Rather, he encouraged her in her journey, in a journey that led her to discover she was not alone in her grief. Through this, the woman arrived at peace, at acceptance, at understanding, and at deeper insight. And so the blessing of this beatitude is not in the mourning and not in the denying of the mourning. The blessing is what comes as we allow ourselves to be comforted. And who does this comforting? Well, sometimes we think it comes directly from God. And sometimes we think that people provide comfort. And actually, both are the same, because those who comfort are God's messengers. There's a heartwarming story about a Swedish pastor whose wife had died. And he was so overcome with sorrow that he lost his appetite and he did not want to leave his house. And 4 concerned colleagues paid him a visit, and the pastor confided that he was struggling. And he said, "I'm no longer able to pray. In fact, I don't even know if I still believe in God." After a moment of silence, one of his colleagues said, "Then we will believe for you, and we will pray for you." And the colleagues met frequently with the pastor, believing faith be restored for their friend. Some months later, as they gathered, the grieving pastor smiled and said, "It's no longer necessary for you to pray for me. Today, I would like you to pray with me." Jesus said, "I came so that you may have life and have it more abundantly." And that can also mean restoring us to abundant life. The friends of the grieving pastor were God's messengers who not only comforted him, they helped restore him. And if you desire some of that to be prayed for, join us on our Zoom call on Thursday mornings. Now, while the way we process and integrate loss is different from everyone, the blessings of the second beatitude remain steadfast. We are blessed as we allow ourselves to be comforted by God's presence, even in our deepest grief. We are blessed and comforted as we allow sorrow to move us toward knowing God is always there. No matter what we are going through, we are never alone. We are blessed and comforted as we allow for God's peace and strength and love and support. We are blessed and comforted as we emerge from the dark night with a closer connection with Spirit. We are blessed and comforted as messengers of the divine, providing love and a safe place for others who are grieving. Now, here are some actions and affirmations to deepen into our blessings from the second beatitude. Acknowledge all forms of loss, because we know that grief is not limited to the loss of loved ones. It can be from the loss of jobs, relationships, health, unfulfilled dreams, and so much more. And say with me, through all forms of loss, I am comforted by the eternal embrace and compassion of the divine. Second one. Recognize grief as a personal journey. Grief is a process which takes time and cannot be rushed. Honor your own pace and the pace of others. Say with me, I honor my journey through grief, knowing that each step unfolds in divine timing. Hold on to the promise of comfort, the assurance of divine love. And who are we? Unity of divine love. The assurance of divine love and support is a beacon to ourselves and others during times of sorrow. Say with me, I am embraced by divine love, a comforting light guiding me through times of sorrow. Be present. Offer your presence to those experiencing loss. I have seen that happen so many times here at Unity of Tempe for each other. Sometimes the best support is simply being there, listening and acknowledging pain without judgment. Say with me, I am here with an open heart, offering the gift of presence to those in need of solace. Create a safe space. Allow yourself and others to express emotions freely. Sharing feelings can be a powerful step towards healing. Say with me, I am open to the healing light of spirit guiding me towards peace. Embrace hope. As you begin to integrate the loss, focus on the potential for new beginnings. Encourage yourself and others to remain open to new opportunities and the blessings they may bring. Say with me, with each breath I allow the divine comforter to soothe my spirit and renew my hope. I think this affirmation is perfect for pretty much any situation where we feel a loss or we feel anything that isn't like the complete and utter joy of our heart. Soothe my spirit and renew my hope. So as I conclude my message today, may the comfort that we've contemplated together become a gentle echo in your heart. May the spirit of our gathering inspire you to carry forward the light of understanding, and may it beckon you back to this time of fellowship and community, where each of us is both seeker and guide on this shared path of healing. And now, Ron found a beautiful song. It's absolutely beautiful. And I am sure you've never heard it before. If you have, let me know afterwards. I'd never heard it before. And imagine this song is being sung to you directly by Spirit. And it's by Margaret Brennan. The singer is Margaret Brennan Singer.
I bless the sun, I bless the skies. I bless your lips, I bless your eyes. My blessing goes with you. In the nighttime when you sleep, oh, I bless you while a watch I keep. As you lie in slumber deep, my blessing goes with you. This is my prayer for you, there for you, ever true. Each, every single day, in everything you do. And when you come to me and hold me close to you, I bless you and you bless me too. When your weary heart is tired, if the world would leave you uninspired, if nothing more of love's desired, my blessing goes with you. When the storms of life are strong, when you're wounded, when you don't belong, when you no longer hear my song, my blessing goes with you. And this and hold me close to you. I bless you, and you bless me too. I bless you, and you bless me too.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that song. Thank you, Ron, for finding that for us. Beautiful. That was sung by Margaret Brennan Singer. It's actually, and if you want the link to it, it will be at the end of the message online on our Unity of Tempe channel. And also Ron can send it to you. And that's not the person who wrote the song, but it's a beautiful one. So let us say together, I am blessed. I am blessed. One more time. I am blessed. I am blessed. Think of all the blessings in your life. Think of everything you take for granted. I am blessed. And also, just on my heart right now are all the people who are suffering in the Midwest from tornadoes and hurricanes and weather, and we hold them in our prayers and love, and all the ones who have lost loved ones through weather. We accept healing, comfort, and so it is. And so let us now say together, I am a beloved child of God, here to be an ambassador of good. What are we here to be? Ambassadors of good. Again, ambassadors of good. Yes, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who shine your beautiful lights in the world and make a difference in all the times, not just the joyful times, but also the times when people are hurting. Yes, indeed. And so this is our time now to begin to get our financial blessings ready to share. We're so grateful for your gifts because they really bless our community so much. We wouldn't be here without for our financial blessings. And so I invite you to say with me, take your blessing to your heart. I am a joyful sharer of my good. I remember that as I give, I receive, and that God is my source. God is my power. Yes, indeed. Thank you, God. And if you prefer to give online, you can do so here as well, or by your phone. Thank you. Thank you so much, Scott and Carla, for that. And we bless every single gift. We bless the giver and the receiver and the stewardship of their use. We bless all who decide to give online as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We bless every single prayer in the prayer box, knowing that the highest and best answer comes. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Our Zoom prayer and connect call. We invite you to join that Thursdays at 10 a.m. It is such a sweet and sacred community to be on there and just to have that time together. And if you're like, I really want to be on a prayer call, but Thursdays at 10 a.m. don't work, let us know. Yes. And if you would like to join us, just sign up to be on our email list and you'll receive a Zoom link every Wednesday night. Oh my goodness, look at all the water here. Look at this. This is amazing. We're going to bless all the water and all of the food that has come in from Matthew's Crossing. We are so grateful that Epiphany is a heat relief station this year. And thank you, thank you, thank you to Deborah who brought in lots of water. And there was water here. when I arrived today. So thank you for whichever little fairy, angel, wonderful being brought that in. Thank you, thank you. And for all of the food, so much. That is very appreciated. We bless it on its way. We want you to know that you are so very, very important and so very loved by each and every one of us here, and that you make a difference in the world just by shining your beautiful light. And we encourage you to be with us next week. It will be a completely different beatitude. It won't be on the subject of grief. This was a deep one today, and it was totally appropriate to have it for Memorial Day, how it all lined up as well as we go into this solemn holiday. So we encourage you to be with us for more spiritual inspiration and to invite someone to come and be here with you next week. And so let us say together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well, and we are grateful. Beloveds online, have a beautiful week, and we look forward to seeing you in person very soon.